Change is one of the few constant parts of life, yet it's also one of the hardest things to accept. Not because change is always negative, but because it challenges something deeper in us. The mind prefers what it knows. Even when something isn't working, familiarity can feel safer than uncertainty. So when life shifts, when routines break, when things no longer feel stable, the natural reaction is resistance. But what if that resistance isn't a sign that something is wrong, but a sign that something is shifting? In this video, we're going to explore why change feels so uncomfortable. Not from a motivational perspective, but from a psychological one. And why what feels like instability is often the beginning of adjustment, not the end of stability. Change is a natural part of life. It happens in small ways and in large ways. It happens gradually and sometimes unexpectedly. It shows up in your environment, your relationships, your work, and within yourself. And yet, even though change is constant, it can still feel uncomfortable. It can create uncertainty. It can disrupt routines. It can challenge your sense of stability. This response is normal. The mind prefers familiarity. It prefers what is known, predictable, and consistent. Even when something is not ideal, if it is familiar, it can feel easier to stay where you are than to move into something unknown. This is why change can feel difficult. Not because it is always negative, but because it introduces uncertainty. And uncertainty requires adjustment. Embracing change does not mean that you always feel comfortable with it. It means that you are willing to move forward, even when things are not fully clear. It means that you are open to adapting. It means that you are willing to learn as you go. The first step in embracing change is acknowledging it, recognizing that something is shifting. Instead of ignoring it or resisting it, you allow yourself to see it clearly. What is changing? What is different now? What is no longer the same? This awareness is important because without acknowledgement, it is difficult to respond effectively. Once you recognize the change, the next step is understanding your response to it. How do you feel about it? What thoughts are coming up? What concerns or questions do you have? These responses provide insight into what you need. You may notice hesitation. You may notice resistance. You may notice a desire to return to what is familiar. These reactions are part of the adjustment process. They do not mean that change is wrong. They mean that your mind and body are working to process something new. Instead of trying to eliminate these reactions, you can observe them, acknowledge them, and then choose how to move forward. Another important part of embracing change is shifting your perspective. Instead of viewing change only as disruption, you can begin to see it as movement. Movement away from something that no longer fits. Movement toward something that is still developing. This does not mean that every change feels positive. Some changes are difficult. Some involve loss. Some require letting go of something that mattered to you. These experiences deserve acknowledgement and space. But even in difficult change, there is often an element of transition. Something is ending, and something else is beginning, even if the new beginning is not yet clear. This is where patience becomes important. Clarity does not always arrive immediately. You may not understand the full impact of a change right away. You may need time to adjust, to reflect, and to see how things develop. Allow yourself that time. You do not need to rush into certainty. You only need to stay engaged with the process. Another key part of embracing change is flexibility. The ability to adjust your approach, the ability to revise your expectations, the ability to respond to new information as it becomes available. Flexibility does not mean a lack of direction. It means being able to maintain your direction while adapting your path. This skill becomes more valuable over time because change is ongoing, and the ability to adapt allows you to continue moving forward even when circumstances shift. It is also helpful to focus on what remains stable. Even during periods of change, not everything is shifting. Your values remain. Your ability to think and respond remains. Your capacity to learn remains. These stable elements provide a foundation. They give you something to rely on as other things change. Another important aspect is taking small, manageable steps. When change feels overwhelming, it can be helpful to narrow your focus. Instead of trying to understand everything at once, focus on what you can do next. What is one step you can take today? What is one action that supports your adjustment? These small steps create progress, and progress builds confidence. Confidence reduces resistance, and reduced resistance makes it easier to continue. Support can also play a role in this process. Talking to someone you trust can help you process change more clearly. It can provide perspective. It can help you see options you may not have considered. You do not need to navigate everything alone. Another part of embracing change is letting go of the need for control over every detail. You can influence your actions, you can make decisions, but you cannot control every outcome. Trying to control everything can increase stress. Letting go of that need allows you to focus on what is within your influence, your actions, your responses, your choices. This shift creates more stability, even in uncertain situations. It is also important to recognize that growth often occurs through change. When things remain the same, there is limited need to adjust or expand. Change creates new situations, new challenges, new opportunities to learn. This does not mean that growth is always easy, but it does mean that change often creates the conditions for it. As you continue to move through change, you may notice shifts within yourself. You may develop new skills. You may gain new perspectives. You may become more adaptable. These changes are part of your development. They reflect your ability to respond and adjust. They reflect your willingness to continue moving forward. It is also helpful to recognize that not all change requires immediate action. Some changes require observation first, time to understand, time to assess, time to consider your options. Taking time to respond thoughtfully can lead to better decisions. Not all movement needs to be immediate. Some movement needs to be intentional. As you practice embracing change, your confidence in handling it will grow. You will begin to trust your ability to adjust. You will begin to see that you can navigate uncertainty. You will begin to approach new situations with more steadiness. This confidence is built through experience. Each time you move through change, you strengthen your ability to do it again. Over time, change may begin to feel less overwhelming, not because it becomes predictable, but because you become more capable of responding to it. This is an important shift. It moves you from reacting to change to working with it. As you move through your day, you can ask yourself, what is changing in my life right now? How am I responding to it? What is one small step I can take to move forward with clarity? Let these questions guide you gently, not with pressure, but with awareness. That is enough. Thank you for sharing this moment of time with me today. If this scroll resonated with you, feel free to like and subscribe for more. And before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is one change you are currently experiencing, and what is one small step you can take to move forward with it? Your ability to adapt is growing, your understanding is deepening, and your capacity to move forward, even in uncertainty, is becoming stronger with each step you take. You are capable of navigating change. You are capable of adjusting your path. And you are capable of building a life that continues to evolve in ways that support your growth.